This Victorian election is probably one of the most critical in our nation's history. It's not hyperbole to say that. Dan Andrews is the most anti-family, anti-freedom government leader this nation has ever seen. There are myriad examples. A classic one is what he has done in terms of young people who might be suffering with gender dysphoria, confusion about whether they're a boy trapped in a girl's body, vice versa. He has made it illegal for a child crying out for help to get help. It's illegal for anyone to respond to that cry for help unless they're prepared to take that child by the hand to a gender clinic where that child is likely to be put on puberty blockers or cross-sex hormones, made infertile for life, and possibly led down a path towards irreversible surgery. You only have to go to the Victorian government's Equal Opportunities and Human Rights Commission website to see the words "it's against the law" for someone to respond to that cry for help. I'm not making this up. This is wicked legislation, and this is just scratching the surface of the anti-family. Of course, they have abortion to birth in Victoria. That was the state that started it. Daniel Andrews is aggressive in his push against the church, against Christian morals, Christian teaching, and his intolerance of it. So it's vital. We just feel that whilst Family First is newly getting re-established, we had to get into the fight in Victoria, and we're coming late at it. But I'm actually moving down to Victoria tomorrow to relocate there for the next 3 months to help organise our campaign. But we're determined to have some quality candidates. And there's definitely an outside chance that we could get someone elected to the Victorian Upper House, and that would just be terrific to bring a pro-family, pro-life, pro-freedom voice into that parliament.
Yeah, that's really cool. And I guess it's a pretty bleak situation in terms of the government there, but in many ways the opposition are not doing their job as they should. So it's really important that I guess we have minor parties who are strong pro-family, pro-life, pro-faith alternatives.
Look, it's absolutely important, Cody, and you're right. The Liberals down there under Matthew Guy are very, very weak on all areas, not just the areas that we, as people of faith and conservative family values, are concerned about. Unfortunately, Matthew Guy's Liberals abstained in the vote against that so-called, gay conversion suppression law, the one that makes it illegal for even a parent to respond to a child's cry for help. The Liberals were missing in action in that fight, and even some of their people in the upper house voted for it. So they have been no help to freedom of speech, freedom of religion, parents' rights. They've gone along with the whole, gender fluid ideology, haven't fought it. And of course, they've been a very weak opposition. So I think the only way out of this mess is a long-term strategy that involves getting the sort of voices that we want to get into the parliament, who can get up every day and do what the Greens have done for the last 30 years and make the case, and yes, be ridiculed, but just keep at it over time until the truth breaks through. And that's very much what we're committed to doing at Family First. And we've got to start somewhere. This is a small beginning, but unless we start pushing back, it's going to continue to be one-way traffic, and the stakes are very, very high. I know that there's churches and even leaders of other faiths, Muslim and Hindu friends, who will not speak publicly, afraid to speak publicly about what marriage is and what the truth about gender is, because they're afraid of the state apparatus now that has weaponised law against these values in the state of Victoria. So the stakes are very, very high.
Authorised by Warwick Marsh, 1A227 Corder Road, Mount Kembla, New South Wales 2526.